Yes, welcome back again to Classic Dirt Bike TV and the continuing footage from the 2024 Revival Scramble as we go straight into race 8, which is the Twin Shock Open, aged under 45 years. Now, as the riders leave the line, a good start there by, I think that's number 2, Brad O'Leary on the 81 at 490 Michael. Number 711 there on the big CR480 Honda is Graham Riley, but still looks like Brad O'Leary is your race leader as these riders begin lap 1. Graham Riley in second place there. Number 120 is Dean D-Wing on the Yamaha YZ 465. So as the riders come around to complete lap 1, it looks like it's Graham Riley, number 711, who is now your new race leader. Brad O'Leary is in second position, so it's Graham Riley as he crosses the line to start lap 2. Graham riding that big CR480 Honda, an absolute beast of a bike. Second place is still Brad O'Leary. Number 120, Dean D-Wing, is still sitting there in third position on that YZ 465 Yamaha. But certainly welcome back again to part 2 here of the racing highlights from this year's 2024 Kendal Classic Revival Scramble. This of course will be part 2 of 4 videos that I'll be posting, and you'll be able to see every single race that took part on the day. Number 249 going past there is Jonathan Cowgill on his 400 RM Suzuki bike. But here's your race leader. It's still Graham Riley, number 711 on the 480 Honda. Looks like Graham's still managing to keep Brad O'Leary behind him. Brad riding that 81 Folk. Oh dear, 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 dear. Looks like I've just given Brad a touch of the Murray Walkers there. The minute you mention a rider, he just falls flat on his backside, but looks like Brad's okay. It's a question now if that big 490 Michael will fire up again. There's your second place man, number 120. That's Dean D-Wing on the Yamaha. And through there is number 2, Chris Winder on the big 500 HBF Honda, and number 28, that's Stephen Coulson. But it doesn't look like Brad's managed to get that Michael fired up again, so hopefully he'll get back into this race. As we take a look at number 28 again, that's Stephen Coulson on the big 490 Michael. And it looks like our race leader, number 711, Graham Riley, has had some kind of mechanical issue with that 480 Honda because he's parked trackside, which is a bit of a shame because he was going very well there. But also looks like Brad O'Leary has now got the Michael up and running again. So hopefully Brad will be able to make his way through the pack. But here's your current race leader. It's number 120, Dean D-Wing on the YZ 465 Yamaha. And just in the background there you can see quite a good crowd of spectators attending this year's 2024 Revival Scramble, so well done to everybody who attended this event this year. Number 18 there, that's Connor Smith on his 481 Michael. It looks like Connor is now up into second position, so Connor going very well on the 400 Michael. And the weather, as you can see, is still absolutely perfect for a spring weekend here at the Westmoreland County Showground, so we've certainly picked the right date this year to hold this event. So here's your race leader coming round to complete another racing lap. It's number 120, Dean D-Wing on the YZ Yamaha. But these YZ 465 Yamahas is still regarded as one of the best bikes that Yamaha made in terms of off-road motocross machines. There's your second place man just going through again, number 18 Connor Smith on his 400 Michael. But I think Brad O'Leary is starting to make his way through the pack, so he did lose quite a few places when he sort of dropped, to put it politely, dropped his bike into one of the corners there. But Brad's up and running again. He's starting to make his way through the pack, so he could still get a decent finish despite that little off-track excursion. So here is number 2 there, Brad O'Leary on the 81 490 Michael. So here's your current race leader again, number 120, that's Dean D-Wing, still out there in the front, but of course things could have been different had Graham Riley not suffered that mechanical failure and Brad O'Leary dropped his bike into one of the corners. But that's racing for you, so you have to make the most of what you're given. But Dean is certainly doing that because he's got quite a comfortable lead here at the front on his two-stroke Yamaha bike. Number 18 again in second position is Connor Smith on the 400 black Michael, which naturally is somewhat different to the normal red and yellow livery that you used to find on these old Michaels. But certainly Connor doing very well there in second position. Brad O'Leary is now up to third place, so he's certainly got a move on since he got that old Michael re-fired up, and he's certainly moving through the pack. But I think he's going to run out of laps because here's your race leader coming towards the checkered flag to take his first win of the day. So it's going to be a win for Dean D-Wing on the YZ 465 Yamaha. Second position is going to go to Connor Smith on his 400 Michael. And closing up those first 3 places will be Brad O'Leary in third, which is not a bad consolation prize considering that it took Brad quite a while to get that bike fired into life. So there's Brad O'Leary coming through in third position. So that brings us around once again to the Greaves and British two-stroke championship for the pre-60s, pre-65s and pre-68s, and this of course is race 9, so we're just waiting on the guys getting ready to line up on the start line. Number 13 there is Robin Chadwick. Next to Robin is Harry Stitt, who of course won that first race of the day. So we're just about ready to go, just waiting on the 5-second board being raised. And as you can see, another nice lineup of old classic dirt bikes, but it looks like we're just about ready to go. The 5-second board is now up, the gate drops, and it looks like the Japs have also made a good start again. So there's the first 3 Japs going into turn 1, and it looks like James Thompson has got the whole shot. It looks like John Griffiths in second position with Harry Stitt in third. So as they make their way towards us, it is indeed number 26 James Thompson. It's John Griffiths in second position, but I think we see a few red flags flying about, so it looks like this race is going to be stopped and have to be restarted. So I don't know why. We've had some kind of incident at the start line maybe, so this race is having to be restarted. So it looks like we're all lined up once again and ready to go. So the gate drops. It looks like Cecil Pearson's Japs have shot from the gate now. So we have Japs in the first 4 positions going into turn 2, so it looks like John Griffiths and James Thompson battling for the lead as they make their way up the hill. It looks like Mickey Allen's come to a stop in the corner there with his BSA A10, number 861, with Stephen Bowles on his 250 Creeves Griffins, but it looks like Mickey Allen's lost the chain off that back sprocket. So as the riders come round to complete lap 1, it's number 26, James Thompson on the Cecil Pearson Jap. Second is number 11, but that's John Griffiths, who's riding Cecil Pearson's Jap Scrambler. So it's John Griffiths, your race leader, from number 26, James Thompson, who's riding the Jap with the Rickman chassis. But James will be hoping that he can do a bit better in this race, because he was narrowly beaten by Harry Stitt in race 1, so James will be hoping to do much better in this race. But it's still John Griffiths there, number 11, who is your race leader. James Thompson is currently in second position. It looks like Mickey Allen's got his old BSA up and running again. Number 5 coming towards us there is Chris Dakin on his Greaves Challenger machine. So here's your current race leader. It's still John Griffiths who leads this man here, James Thompson, number 26. John Griffiths, of course, is riding that Harry Stitt framed Jap machine, and that number 11 bike is Cecil Pearson's own personal race bike. But James Thompson is still in there in second position, but this has been a good ride here so far by John Griffiths. But it's certainly a lot of work for Cecil Pearson to keep these bikes running on the track after each race event, because there's usually quite a bit of work to do on these old Jap engines by the time these guys are finished racing them at these kind of events. Number 111 is of course Harry Stitt, who was the winner of the first race. Number 44 is again another Jap racer, that's Adrian Lappin, one of the Irish Jap Scrambles race team. But it's still John Griffiths on the number 11 Harry Stitt Jap racer, who is your current race leader, and John's coming round to complete another racing lap, so he's going very well on this Cecil Pearson racer. And I'm certainly looking forward to my annual pilgrimage to Northern Ireland to see these guys in action in their native country. So I'll be heading over there to Northern Ireland in the middle of June for that charity scramble event over there, where they raise thousands of pounds for local charities. But there's your race leader again, John Griffiths, and we're taking a look at number 111. That's Harry Stitt, although it looks like Harry's sister that's riding the bike with that hair sticking out the back of the helmet, but that's another story. And number 310, who's just crossed the line there, that's Scott Remington on his big BSA Gold Star. Number 58 there is not listed in the race programme, but looks like he's riding one of those Steve McQueen Rickman Twin Triumph bikes with that grey livery. So quite a rare bike to see on a racetrack. So there's James Thompson in second position, starting his last and final lap. So it's still John Griffiths who's got quite a decent lead on this last lap, and James Thompson is currently still in second. Looks like that Steve McQueen bike has a bit of a mechanical issue, but still James Thompson in second position. But the next scheduled race event for the Northern Scrambles Championship will be at Ian Ridley's track at Bassenthwaite on Bank Holiday Monday on the 6th of May. So if you want to see these guys in action again, get yourself down to that event. Now we're taking a look at number 139. That's Craig Holmes on the big BSA, and that was a bike that was originally built and owned by CCM legend Jimmy Aird. But it looks like it's going to be a win for this man here, number 11, John Griffiths, and it's going to be James Thompson in second, with Harry Stitt crossing the line in third. And there you can see Harry Stitt just coming to take that third placed position. Harry didn't do as well as he did in the first race because he did win that first race, but a nice consolation prize for Harry Stitt there in third. So that brings us on to race 10. This is the Twin Shock 125A, Twin Shock 125B class. A nice collection of little 125 screamers. So as they leave the line, looks like that's number 14. I think that's Richard Mason, who's made a cracker of a start. Andy Hinchcliffe's also made a good start there in second position, but a good gaggle of 125 screamers for this Twin Shock A and Twin Shock B class race. So we're picking our riders up in lap 1, and we're looking at the battle between number 224 here, Andy Hinchcliffe, and number 26, that's Mark Wartig on the 125. On the number 29 is Mark Beeston on that beautiful KX Kawasaki. Number 91 there is Neil Brooks, who's also riding a little CR125. Number 51 there, that's Martin Stokes on his 125 Honda as he crosses the line to start at lap 2. And there may be just little small 125 two-stroke engines in these bikes, but they can certainly hustle around this racetrack. Number 42 there is Alan Thomas on his 1980 125 RM Suzuki, but some quick little bikes around this Westmoreland track and some good scraps going on. Number 77 there, I think that could be Kevin Lees on his YZ 125. As we take another look at number 29, that's Mark Beeston on his KX125 Kawasaki. Very nice looking little machine. I think Mark could currently be in about third place, but here's your race leader as he comes round to complete another racing lap. It's number 14, Richard Mason on the YZ125 Yamaha. So Richard also made a good start in that first race in the 125 class, so he's off to another belter in this second race of the day. Number 224 in second position, that's Andy Hinchcliffe. Andy, of course, riding two bikes here this afternoon, this little CR125 Honda, and you'll be able to see Andy in action again later when he's riding his Czechoslovakian CZ bike. Looks like number 55 there, that's Ian Yates. It looks like Ian's heading for a DNF this time on his quite rare little 125 KTM, so unfortunately it doesn't look like Ian's going to manage to finish this particular race. Number 194 just blasting his way through there is Mark Sheldon on his 125 Suzuki. So we're back with our race leader, who looks quite comfortable here at the front. Doesn't look like there's going to be anybody close enough to make a challenge before the end of this race, and it's still at number 14. It's Richard Mason. Richard's got quite a decent gap between himself and second place man number 224, Andy Hinchcliffe. As we take another look at what I think is a battle for third and fourth place between this man here, number 29, Mark Beeston, and I think it's number 21 just behind. That's Ian Knight on his YZ125 Yamaha, and as I remember, I think Ian has a couple of these little 125 Screamers, immaculately turned out as usual, and as you can see, pretty quick on the track as well. So here's your race leader as he crosses the line to begin his last and final lap. It's still at number 14, Richard Mason, who leads this combined Twin Shock 125A and Twin Shock 125B class. And as far as I know, it's still Andy Hinchcliffe, number 224, in second position, with Mark Beeston on the Kawasaki currently in third. So this has been quite a comfortable race for Richard Mason, as he looks like he's cruising to the checkered flag. And just coming into shot now is your second place man, number 224, Andy Hinchcliffe. So another good result there for Andy. Number 26 looks like he's in third place now, so that's Mark Wartig. So maybe Mark's passed Mark Beeston for that third place position. So looks like he's in third as we continue on this last and final lap. But it certainly looks like it's going to be another win for this man, Richard Mason, as he takes the checkered flag, and what I think is his second win of the day. So well done to Richard. And it should be Andy Hinchcliffe who crosses that line in second, but it's going to be Mark Beeston who's going to come through with Kawasaki to finish in third place. Right, we're going to crack on now with race number 11, and this is the second race of the day for the pre-1978 class. Another quite good lineup of riders again as they leave the line and make the downward plunge into turn one. It looks like Peter Williamson's made quite a good start there on the 400 Micro. Remember, this is one of the bikes that we had a look at in our paddock walkabout, so Peter certainly off to a good start there on the old Twin Shock 400 Micro. Number 56 there, that's Tony Barnes. I think Tony Barnes won that first race in the pre-1978 class on the big CCM. Looks like Tony's had some kind of problem at the start there, so hopefully he'll get back up and running again. And we're looking at the battle for second position, and that looks like it's number 71 or 711. I think that's Steve Ruddock on his KX250 Kawasaki, a lovely old 1974 machine there. So Steve Ruddock off to a decent start there on his immaculately turned out KX Kawasaki. Just behind Steve Ruddock there was number 873. I think that was Nathan Jones, who's also riding a big 4-stroke CCM. It certainly looks like Tony Barnes is on his way once again, so hopefully Tony will manage to carve his way through the pack on the big CCM. Number 50 there just coming towards us is Leslie Calderwood on his 1974 Joe Maxwell CCM. Still doing a bit of popping and banging, so Les is certainly going to have to get that bike looked at. But we're looking at the battle for the lead of this race between number 33 at the front there, that's Peter Williamson, and Steve Ruddock in second position on the Kawasaki. Nathan Jones is also doing well in third there on the big CCM. So a good scrap developing here for these first four placings at the front. So as the riders come towards us, it's still currently at number 33, Peter Williamson, on the 1976 400 Twin Shock Michael, who leads Steve Ruddock on that 1974 Kawasaki KX 250. Nathan Jones is currently in third as we take a look at number 57. I think that's Martin Jackson on his little RM 250 Suzuki. But yet again we had another fantastic bunch of entries for this 2024 Revival Scramble. 220 entries, I believe it was the final total, so well done to everybody who took the effort to take part. So here's your race leader as he comes round to complete another lap. It's number 33, Peter Williamson on the 400 Michael, who leads Steve Ruddock on the 250 Kawasaki. So Steve maybe a bit out horsepowered by that big Michael, but nevertheless he's given a good account of himself on that quite nimble little KX Kawasaki. Well, you can see Steve Ruddock certainly on the move on that little 250 Kawasaki and just sticks it down the inside of Peter Williamson. So it's the 250 Kawasaki that leads the 400 Twin Shock Michael in second position, but Steve Ruddock already beginning to open up a gap on that bigger engine machine of Peter Williamson. Nathan Jones is currently still in third, but he's also hounding number 33 Peter Williamson for that second place position. Number 28 at the front there, that's Mike Walker on that little KTM that we had a look at during our paddock walkabout. So as our race leaders come round to start their last and final lap of this race, it's still Steve Ruddock in first position, who leads Nathan Jones in second. So Nathan Jones is moved up into second position on the big CCM. Peter Williamson is currently in third, but Steve Ruddock doing very well on that smaller engined Kawasaki. Nathan Jones there in third. It looks like Tony Barnes is also coming up through the pack, so it's taken Tony a bit of a while to get that big CCM moving, but he's certainly moving through the pack. Here's your race leader, number 71, Steve Ruddock. Nathan Jones is in second, Tony Barnes is in third, so it's a battle of the CCMs in second and third place positions. But you can see that the second place and third place men of Nathan Jones and Tony Barnes are closing in on Steve Ruddock, but as they head towards the checkered flag, it looks like it's going to be a well-deserved win for this man here, number 71 Steve Ruddock on the Kawasaki, and it looks like it's going to be Tony Barnes who's going to cross the line in second, with Nathan Jones in third. And it looks like number 117 there, Alan Vose, is going to have to push his dead CCM back to the paddock. So that brings us quite nicely around to race 12, halfway through the race programme, and this is the pre-74s over 250s and the pre-74s up to 250s. So as they make the charge down the hill into turn one, it looks like it's Chris Winder again on the 250 Honda Elsinore. Number 21 Ian Knight's made a good start. Derek McCauley's also made a good start on the 250 Bultaco Persang. Looks like Andy Hinchcliffe has got a problem in the corner there because he stalled his bike, or yeah, it is Andy Hinchcliffe. Andy made a good start, but seems to have some mechanical issues with his CZ. But it looks like most of the other riders have made it safely through the first 2 or 3 turns as they begin lap 1. So we're back with our race leader, number 2, Chris Winder, and you can see the lead that Chris has already got over the rest of the chasing pack even before lap one's completed. So Chris Winder absolutely flying on that little 250 Honda Elsinore. Second position looks like it's number 21, that's Ian Knight in second place. Derek Macaulay, number 29, is in third on the Bultaco 250 Persang. And also just coming into shot now is number 43 there on the right hand side. That's Andy Malik from Burrelton in Angus, and Andy's riding his CZ. Number 21, Ian Knight, just going through there in second position. It should be Derek Macaulay, number 29, who is in third on the Bultaco Persang. Number 53 just making his way through there. Well, I think that was Justin Keemer, who's also riding a CZ. Oops, a CZ. That was Ian Stainton doing a bit of slipping and sliding going up the hill there on the CCM. A bit of a collision there between number 53 and another CZ rider. But Chris Winder is well down the track now as we take a look at the second place man, number 21, Ian Knight. But Chris Winder is well down the track, so there's quite a substantial gap between Chris Winder and this man here in second position, Ian Knight. But nevertheless, Ian still riding a fantastic race in second position. There's your third placed rider, number 21, Derek Macaulay on the Bultaco 250 Persang. Derek, of course, from Arbroath on the east side of Scotland, so he's quite a far travelled man to get to this Kendal Classic Revival event. But Derek going very well there on that Spanish 250 Bultaco. Number 125 just going through there again is Ian Stainton on the big CCM. And it looks like Andy Hinchcliffe has managed to get his problems sorted out with that CZ. So Andy starting to carve his way through the racing pack. But we've certainly been blessed with the weather for this event this year. The track in absolutely perfect condition, as you can see. As we take a look at number 261, that's Alan Dale on his Walker BSE, a very rare old BSE bike, that one of Alan Dale's there. But we're looking at our second place man. It's still Ian Knight. As I said, Chris Winder is basically racing on his own, far ahead of Ian Knight, but Ian still going well there on his 250 Elsinore in second position. So that's your second placed position rider, 21 Ian Knight. Here's your third place man. It's still Derek. Whoops, looks like somebody's had a little spill in the corner there, but that was Derek Macaulay going through in third place on the Bultaco. So as the riders come round to begin their last and final lap of this race, it's still Chris Winder about 6 miles in front of this man here, number 21 Ian Knight in second place. There's your third placed position rider, Derek Macaulay, number 29 on the Bultaco Persang. So it's going to be a win for Chris Winder on the 250 Honda Elsinore, and it's going to be this man here, number 21 Ian Knight, who's going across the line in second, with of course Derek Macaulay taking that coveted third place position. Okay, so onwards and upwards with race 13, and this is the Twin Shock 250 class, an almost full lineup of 250 riders. A few gaps at the start line, but nevertheless a good gate of 250 riders. So as they leave the line and head into turn 1, it looks like Ryan Ireland's made a decent enough start. But it looks like it's number 1. That's Lee Payne, of course, on the 250 red rocket. So Lee Payne is your early leader, absolutely motoring around this Westmoreland Showground track. So it's Lee Payne, number 1, your race leader. Second is number 43 or 34, Ryan Ireland. Third is number 6, I think that's Nick Moore in third position. So you can see that there's quite a few quick riders on these smaller 250 machines. So coming round to complete lap 1 already, it's this man here, number 1, Lee Payne, on the 1979 CR250 Honda Red Rocket. So it's Lee Payne in first position. Number 43, Ryan Ireland, is currently in second, but Lee Payne absolutely motoring around this tight, twisty Westmoreland County Showground track. Ryan Ireland, you can see, just going through there in second position. And just coming towards us there is number 40, I think that's Dan Edgar, who is listed in the programme as riding a Honda RC250, and that certainly isn't a Honda RC250. Looks like a 1980 RM250 Suzuki to me, but then again, what do I know? So there's your current race leader. It's number 1, Lee Payne, on the 250 on the red rocket, and you can see how these bikes were so popular when they came to the UK in the late 1970s, and when Honda launched these red rockets into the UK, it seemed that everybody, and even their dog, wanted one of these red rockets, and you can see why, because they're still super quick even here in this modern day. But we're looking at our second place position rider, number 43, Ryan Ireland, and it's still Lee Payne who's currently our pole position rider. So I can imagine that this man here will certainly be a pain for the man in second position, Ryan Ireland, because Lee is currently in front of him, but we're looking at number 40 again, Dan Edgar, on his Honda RC250 or RM250, whichever way you want to look at it. But some good racing developing here at the front, and it's still number 1, Lee Payne, who leads Ryan Ireland in second position. But Lee's certainly making that little rocket shift around this Westmoreland track. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you will be able to see every single race that went down over the course of this event. That's 24 races in total, so we'll probably have at least another 2 episodes to come after this one here. But this has been a good performance here by number 1, Lee Payne. Ryan Ireland currently still in second position, so Ryan going very well, but unfortunately not quick enough to catch Lee Payne at the front. Now it could be that Dan Edgar here is currently in third on the RM250 Suzuki. So we're back with our current race leader again, number 1, Lee Payne, who leads Ryan Ireland in second position. But Ryan certainly appears to be making a little bit of ground on Lee Payne, but Lee is certainly comfortable here at the front, the man from Preston. So this has been a dogged performance from Lee Payne in first position. There's your second place man as he crests the hill, number 43, Ryan Ireland. And this is another bike, of course, that we had a closer look at during my paddock walkabout, another immaculately turned out Honda red rocket. But here's your race leader as he heads towards the checkered flag. So it's been a good ride here by Lee Payne on the Rocket, and he certainly deserves this win. So only one more turn to go to secure the win. So it's going to be a win for number 1, Lee Payne, with Ryan Ireland coming across the line in second. So as we move on to our final race in this part 2 of the racing footage from the Revival 2024, this is race 14, the Twin Shock Open, aged 60 and over. These are basically the veterans of the Twin Shock class. So as they leave the line and head into turn 1. So as they head into turn 1, it's a good start by number 32, Trevor Calderwood from Northern Ireland. Number 2 is Dave Sulkeld on the big 570 Husqvarna. Paul Chiappa has also made a good start. Paul from my hometown of Dunfermline in Scotland. But it's Trevor Calderwood, number 32, who's made the best start in this race on his Michael Magnum. Trevor, of course, from Ballymena in Northern Ireland. But here's the battle at the front as they come round to complete lap 1. It's still Trevor Calderwood on the 2-stroke Michael who leads Dave Sulkeld's big 570 4-stroke thumper Husqvarna. Looks like Dave has lost his goggle roll-ups, and I think he was looking to switch them there, but he's got that nice streamer coming out of the back of his helmet. Number 81 just going through there is Chris Cannon on his Suzuki. So it looks like on lap 2 we have a change of leader at the front. It's this man here, number 2, Dave Sulkeld on the 570 4-stroke Husqvarna, who leads Trevor Calderwood, number 32, on the 490 Michael. Alan Bott is now moved up into 3rd place on his Michael machine, but certainly Dave Sulkeld has got this big 4-stroke thumper Husky working well here at the front. Number 20 just making his way through, that's Trevor Petrie on his big 4-stroke thumper Rotax. So we're back with our race leader. It's still Dave Sulkeld with that big streamer flailing around at the back of his helmet. So Dave Sulkeld crosses the line. It's now Alan Bott who's now moved up into 2nd position. So Dave's going to have to get the finger out if he's going to keep Alan Bott behind, because Alan Bott never takes any prisoners when he's in one of these kind of races. So if Dave wants to win this race, he's going to have to go some to keep Alan Bott behind him. Trevor Calderwood is now currently in 3rd place position. But thus far, this has been a fantastic ride by Dave Sulkeld on the big Husqvarna, but Alan Bott is certainly closing in on each and every turn. Trevor Calderwood is still in 3rd, but this is the man to watch. Alan Bott, number 74 on the 81 490 Michael. So you can visually see how close Alan Bott is getting to Dave Sulkeld. He's nearly caught up with Dave's streamer at the back, so he's quite close in that respect, but it's still Dave Sulkeld, your race leader. 2nd, number 74, Alan Bott, but Dave is certainly holding on to that pole position at the front as he comes round to complete another racing lap. Alan Bott is still in 2nd place. Trevor Calderwood is currently in 3rd. But there's certainly enough time and laps left for Alan Bott to make a move on Dave Sulkeld, but hopefully Dave can hold on to this lead. But Alan Bott's going to stick that Michael down the inside, so this could be close going into these next few turns, but neither rider giving an inch as they make their way up the hill. And this is going, a bit of bar bashing going on there, but who's going to emerge from the top of the hill in the lead? And it's Alan Bott, who is now your race leader. So it looks like Alan's got the better of Dave Sulkeld's Husqvarna at the far side of the track, but nevertheless Dave still has that second position to hang on to. So here's your race leader as he comes round to start his last and final lap. It's Alan Bott who leads this man here, number 2, Dave Salkeld. But if Dave can hang on to this second place position, it will still be a quite decent result for his hard work on the day. So Dave Salkeld crosses the line in second position. We're waiting on our third place position rider. Number 2 there is Paul Chiappa from Dunfermline in Scotland. But here's your race leader as he heads towards the checkered flag. It looks like it's going to be his first win of the day for number 74, Alan Bott. So thus far the racing here at the Revival Scramble 2024 has been pretty good as we take a look at our current race leader as he heads towards the checkered flag. So this is going to be a well-deserved win for the man from Wigan, the Pemberton Tyres owner, Alan Bott. So as he takes the last turn before the checkered flag, it's going to be his first win of the day to Alan Bott at number 74, and it's going to be Dave Salkeld who crosses the line in second. So that just about concludes all of the highlights for this part 2 from the Revival Scramble 2024.